Good night, gentle people. Good night to everybody. We're here once again, the Sports Frenzzyy live show, and I'm your host, Levon. And tonight we're here with Shakes and Bones for the time being. Later on, we hope that we'll be joined by Jason and hopefully Demo if Demo doesn't pull out. But good night, man. What's up, man?
Yeah, I know. Oh, God.
For those who know, the tonight's show is brought to you by Let's Care Medical. Let's Care Medical. Visit them at Shop 5 Juicy Plaza, Mandeville. Then again, we have your host, Devon, and we have the CEO Shakes in the building. So guys, we'll be discussing some FA Cup action and some EPL matches that will take place in the midweek. First and foremost, Bones.
Yo,
Remember you company here big bad and brave and I say how Liverpool are gonna beat United and how Wickham are gonna surprise. No man, all of that. So make sure start from where you start. Or hold on a sec. Hold on a sec. I'm wondering if I should start with the man that has got sacked.
yes,
But
you
here
can
one.
start with.
But here one. We could start with him man, because that is big news and a lot of people out there are actually most people aren't surprised in a sense,
Mhm.
while others are surprised that it actually happened. But it was somewhat expected. Frank Lampard out of a job this morning. He was sacked by Chelsea Football Club after some demoralizing statistics and some very poor performances overall.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, if you look at it, wouldn't you guys say it was somewhat expected?
I mean, it was expected, but on a Monday morning like this, it was surprising, to be honest. I thought he would have been given a little bit more time. But this is like the 11th or 14th manager that Abramovich has changed since he took over Chelsea in 2003, I think. And
Yeah,
it with Chelsea Football Club, it is not surprising for them to sack manager. Hey, they sack managers that win them the Premier League. So Frank Lampard has gone 18 months without winning not even a Curry Gold Cup, not even not even a rice grain to put in the rice cooker at Stamford Bridge. So it is really not surprising that he got sacked. The only thing that is surprising is that it happened now, and I don't know. There are many reports out there that senior players are are involved in the decision. Were involved in the decision, and it's really sad to see a young manager like him really get a chat like that. But hopefully he can pick himself back up and come again with lessons learned.
I
Yeah.
sh- I Shakes. What are your views on the sacking of Frank Lampard?
All right, so first and foremost, good night everyone. Frank never should have got that job. First and foremost, right? Moving from Derby County, he needed to manage in the EPL first, meaning a lesser team, before given that high-profile job. Why I say this? Bones alluded to it just now. They have hired the most managers in EPL history since Abramovich has taken over. So you're basically going into a high profile job that has a very high turnover rate. Turnover for success and turnover for managers. And you are very likely to be turned over once you're not winning anything, especially, right? Managers have gone there. One, they have lost their job. Managers don't pass 3 years there. Frank did 18 months. So he basically did half the time that other successful managers have had in the past. Bones also said it. He didn't even win a rice grain, right? So it was a very tough ask to go in. Yes, the transfer embargo was there from the previous season, so he wasn't able to buy players. He just had to work with what was there. This season now, he went out and spent all that money. Now, if you go out and spend all that money, you basically putting yourself up for a higher level of scrutiny, because it's either it works or it just doesn't. As I pointed out on the last live, Frank Lampard, for me, there's no real identity with his team, right? That's one. Number two, it's a similar situation at even Manchester United. We go to our bed, we wake up, we don't know what starting 11 is coming out. Now, for me, you have to be consistent. If your manager is not consistent in his decision with showing trust and confidence in players, it means that, listen, you're just going to end up relying on individual brilliance to bring you to the top of the league or even into the top four. That was not on show. Why? Because he kept on chopping and changing. If you keep on chopping and changing, it means that you're going to get choppy results. Choppy results mean that there is no consistency. Frank Lampard was never ever consistent. Never ever
All
consistent. So the
right.
results at the end of the day, what you expect? Have to be
All
a
right,
sack.
Shakes. Also, I saw reports saying that Frank Lampard only got one player that he
Yes,
actually
I saw
wanted
that.
at
I
the club,
saw
in
that
which
this
that was Ben
morning.
Chilwell.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
basically, they're saying that all the other players that were signed, the Timo Werner, Kai Havertz, Hakim Ziyech, were all signed for other
Mhm.
managers or for club purposes.
And if you
Because,
look,
all right, what I'm also hearing is that he didn't only fell out with some players. He also fell out with Maria.
yeah, yeah,
That's a,
yeah.
that's a, that's who handled basically every Chelsea business since Roman is not able to come into England and things like that. So Maria is basically one who runs the club, and
Mhm.
they were having big disagreements on Kepa because Shakes, I'm hearing a noisy background.
No man, not me.
Okay, good now. So I heard that they fell out because he wanted to just get rid of Kepa altogether. However, they were saying that he should have held Kepa closer and helped to build him up. However, he was in disagreement with that. He wasn't having any of that in it at all. So there came a lot of disagreement, and as some people alluded to, it reached a point where Lampard had no sort of control over the dressing room, and it was at no point of return. So the sack was inevitable.
Yeah. And for me, yes, that may be true in terms of some of the players. Might not have been first choice, but guess what? You get players of quality. Try to implement a system where you can get some positive results. So yeah, you might not be leading the EPL based on those signings, but come on, the last eight Premier League games, 5 losses. Where would you end up with that? Even I saw where a lot of persons were saying, "Oh, he should not have gotten the sack." But guess what? It's just because one, he's white, two, because he's English, and three, because he's a Chelsea old boy and quote unquote a fan's favorite in England. But really and truly, listen, as I said, Chelsea grade based on results, right? And why should they make an excuse because it's Frank? So you are going to keep him. There has been no identity whatsoever. Your two best signings look totally horrendous, right? And remember, they have no confidence. So the manager does not trust those players. We have 6 months to go or 5 months to go in the EPL season. You are telling me that he could end up giving them or helping them to boost their confidence? I never saw it happening. So as I said, the only thing left to do was to sack him. I actually thought that they sacked him 6 days late because he should have gotten the sack after the Leicester game. But guess what? Roman actually wanted to sack him. But guess what? When they called over to Germany to Ralph Ragnick, he was not willing to take the job on an interim basis for 5 months, right? Which is why he didn't get the sack. So he lasted until the Luton game. Now they made contact with Nagelsmann. He was not willing to leave RB
And
Leipzig.
also Leipzig wasn't going to let him
Yes,
go.
yeah, they weren't going to let him go mid-season, especially because they're still in the Champions League. And then Thomas Tuchel. So Thomas Tuchel ended up being the coach of Chelsea, but he's not first choice. I hope he realizes that.
All right, hold on a second, Shakes. Do you actually realize the coincidence that Lampard was sacked after a win against Luton, and also Thomas Tuchel was sacked after winning his previous match against whichever club for PSG? Because remember that he won the match like today, and then the following morning he
Yeah,
got the
man.
sack. Because if you remember correctly, I think that he beat the side by 4 goals to 0, and then the following morning we
It
heard that
was
he was sacked.
Strasbourg, I believe.
I believe.
Strasbourg.
Yeah,
Yes.
But also,
listen.
Shakes, do you actually realize there's a lot of things to this? Because, all right, as far as memory serves me right, I think Thiago Silva left PSG for more than one reason. A lot of people are saying that, oh, it's probably because of contractual disagreement, they were willing to offer him certain contract. However, do you guys actually know that Thiago Silva came out and criticized Thomas Tuchel about his tactics and in-game
Mhm.
management and man management? So guess what? You can say Thiago Silva can prepare for a bench now, you know.
But yeah, but look, but may I look on this from the other day, right? With it, me believe Chelsea are gonna become one club, or if they are not careful over the next couple of years, where if they continue to chat managers like this, right? I am looking at Chelsea Football Club in the next couple of years. They won't be able to attract any top managers to their club
That is
because
true.
if you look at it, a manager is not lasting 2 seasons at Chelsea anymore. They are not lasting 2 seasons, and there's I don't think any manager going into a new club is going to need at least 3 seasons to get things going, right? It's going to need at least 3 seasons to get things going. I do not believe. I strongly believe, I must say, that over the next couple of seasons, if Chelsea and Abramovich continue to chat managers like this, then they are not going to be able to attract any top managers to their club anymore. Honestly, they are not going to be able to do that.
So something that Bones just said, right? Agreeing with him. They're going to run out of managers to hire because the only thing you could do is end up recycling managers because you're not having world class quote unquote managers being produced on a weekly, monthly, yearly basis, right? And to be considered a top class manager, you have to do well in the Champions League or you have to win titles in the respective countries or the
All right,
respective
hold on a
leagues.
second, Shakes. For the commenters, and I'm available to like bring up your comments on the screen, so I'll be reading them off my phone. So here's Akil Henry saying that all I can say, if Tuchel now win the Champions League or EPL in the next 18 months, he will be gone. And
That is,
hold on, this comment is so bones. Here's
I
Mark
know.
Bryan saying that I've been hearing that from ever since, and manager still come and money, and manager still come. Money talks. I think at Arsenal this.
Listen, Mark. You have to put it into perspective. Like Abramovich has been there for since 2003. That's 10 years. 10 and what? 10 and 7. That's
17. So
17.
this is 18th year.
18th year, 14 or 15 managers. Come on. Even Gary never said it today that Thomas Tuchel, or if I'm not pronouncing his name correctly, he shouldn't expect to last beyond 2 years at 2 seasons at Chelsea. He
I,
should
I, I,
expect.
I'm willing to put my neck on the block. Thomas Tuchel won't last more than 13 months.
Yeah, like he won't. Like this is the trend. Look, all right, look at Kante. Kante came in. Kante was struggling at the start of the season. Arsenal beat them 3-0. And from Arsenal beat them at the Emirates, Kante never, I don't think Kante lost a game or if he lost a game, it was on one hand for the remainder of the season. Lifting the Premier League title that season. And the other season, what happened? He struggled,
On.
yeah, gone. All right, Mourinho came back, same thing. You understand what I'm saying? So
All right,
at
so
the end of
Shakes,
the day, no,
you're a
at the
man
end,
that finish up Bones.
no, may I say at the end of the day, this is going to start playing in the minds of top managers that if
Yeah.
if Manchester United wants me and Chelsea wants me at the same time, who has the higher chop rate? Oh, Chelsea. Oh, go away, Chelsea. I'll go to Manchester
Yeah,
United.
as in the
You know what I
manager,
mean?
the
But
the incoming manager or managers will know that they won't be able to implement their identity and their plans at the club. Because guess what? Especially if you're a new manager coming into the league, right?
Yeah.
And you don't
You
do
need,
well, you're basically out the door.
yeah, and you need time as a new manager too. One season can't change nothing as a new manager. You need time, right? You have to have time as a new manager, and Chelsea not willing to give their managers time. So it is what it is, though.
Yeah.
But to me though, Shakes, you're a man that is willing to put your head on the block. Would you say that Frank Lampard will get the Chelsea job once again down the line?
It is possible. If Mourinho did it, why Frank, who was a super player for them, couldn't get it in the future? It is possible. Because remember, it's all about building your reputation. As I said, I don't believe Frank should have taken that job. Right?
Yeah.
I can go into a consultancy position if I know that I am just a junior analyst. Right? I have to build up my stocks, and that
Yeah.
is what he should have done. Derby County, come on, that's a championship. Championship football is completely different from the Premier League. So okay, if he had gone to a lesser team in the EPL, done well, say quote unquote, all right, even Aston Villa right now, look at how Aston Villa they are playing. Suppose he had gone to Aston Villa. It could be any club, but I'm just giving that example. And you can see a particular identity, the way they play attractive football, they seem to be moving forward. If he had done that at another club, keep on building his stocks, probably take a team to probably a semi-final of the FA Cup, probably reach the quarterfinals, semi-finals of the Carling Cup or Carabao Cup, and probably end up as an outsider, end up in the top 6 of the EPL with one of those lesser teams. That's how you build your stock. Otherwise, you actually have to go to a foreign country, right? And don't bother tell me Scotland, guys. Don't tell me Scotland.
No, that's where he's going. He's going to Celtic. He's going to Celtic.
Right?
He's gonna go.
Go to one of them top leagues. But guess what? You see, the language barrier is a problem for a lot of these English managers. So they can't go to some of these other leagues to actually go and
Alright,
build.
Shakes, hold on a second though. Here is Walwest in the comment section saying that also be realistic. If you're offered a position like that, you won't turn down. And that was the case because, brother, come on, it's Chelsea. You used to play for it. You're a big legend for them. So you're not going to turn down that job.
Pertaining to your question though, Levan, and what Sheikh said, what Mourinho had when he came back was credit in the bank. See, as a manager, he had credit in the bank as a manager. Frank Lampard has nothing in the bank as a manager.
No,
However,
man, no, he doesn't have anything as no coach. But
yeah,
guess what?
but
as a player,
as a player, he has something in the bank, right? All right. What I am thinking, the only way for Frank Lampard to get back that job in the future,
build himself out there.
Is do exactly what Sheikh says. Go to build something with a team, with a recognized league. Go build up your structure, right?
Simple question for you guys. Simple question for you guys and for the persons in the comment sections. How many players in the past that have been quote unquote top players in the past have turned out to be top managers?
None.
Less than a handful, less than 5, right? When you really think about it.
Because look,
you literally have to dig deep to find them.
If you're actually looking at Shakes, look at the greatest of all time. Remember that he was an average player, you know?
Exactly.
Fergie wasn't a good player. Fergie was bang on average.
But look at this though. The 2 players that stand out to me right now is Diego Simoy and Pep Guardiola. Them are the only 2 right now.
In recent time, those are the only 2. I could name a third, Carlo Ancelotti, right? But it's like a handful of players.
Think
right?
to Barca coach now. When name
Ronald Koeman?
Koeman too.
No, bro, that man ain't a top coach. Don't go there.
All right, so we're going to wrap up on the Chelsea argument. And somebody pointed out that Zidane even though Shakespeare rates Zidane as the coach.
No, I don't rate Zidane. Nah. Zidane won all them Champions League because of Ronaldo.
And I can say this much as well, that Shakes believe that Brendan Rodgers is in the top 10 of most managers in the world. In terms of best coaches, Brendan Rodgers is top 10.
Top right now in the EPL top 5.
That's easily the top 5.
In the EPL top 5.
That's another thing. One more, give me 30 seconds, Eleven. Maybe did forget to say something. That's another thing. If you look at the managers who are struggling out of the top 6 clubs, right? And when you look at those managers, those managers were the 2 managers who didn't have any experience in the Premier League prior to getting the jobs, Arteta and Frank Lampard. Those are the 2 only managers in the top 6. Well, you would have said Oli, but Oli gone what? 2.5 years now? Or 1.5 years? 2.5 years at Man U, right? I'm approach that now, right? 2.5, yeah, I'm approach 2.5 years. So yeah, him have the experience. But if you look at the managers who continue to struggle this season, Arteta and Frank Lampard, and when you check them background, they never really have nothing to credit them with the 2 jobs where they get. They never really have nothing. So
listen, last live, this is the last thing I'm going to say on the matter. Last live I said, I am pretty sure if Scott Parker was in charge of Chelsea, they would be in a better position. Simply because at Fulham right now, when I look on the football field, they have players that are below the standard of a quote-unquote mid-table team. But guess what? At least I can see a style of play at Fulham.
Yeah.
I can see a team identity.
Yeah.
All right, Shakes, quick on this, and I want to wrap it up in 2 minutes. They're literally cursing out in the comment section, said, Brendan Rodgers, Joker. All right. Let's point out to them that if you check the levels of Brendan Rodgers, look at all the players that Brendan Rodgers has improved.
Exactly.
They just look on just success alone. You have to look at development of players.
You see what sometime, and I see where people in the comment section saying, oh, Zidane. I want to know one player that Zidane has improved in world football. I can't name none. I'm going to wait to see if they put one in the comment section, but I don't know of any, right?
While Brendan Rodgers, I can list out quite a few.
But Brendan Rodgers, I can actually see a style of play, and he has improved players. Guess what?
Exactly.
Everybody wants to look on the little slip that Gerrard made that cost Liverpool the title. But guess what? So many things have happened to other managers in the past.
Let me ask one question. Yes, we agree that he could have gone on to win the league that season, right?
Yes.
However, was Liverpool favored to win the league that season?
No.
So why never kill the man?
No.
Couldn't you say that? Couldn't you say that the man actually overachieved with that Liverpool side?
You know that it was basically the expectation, right? Because they hadn't won the league for so long at that time. The fact that they were leading and with so few games to go, and in terms of the points gap that they had over everybody barring Man City, in terms of the games that Man City had to make up. But otherwise, people just judge him wrong. And as I said, I would love if Man U could play football like Leicester.
All right. There's another comment. There's a comment from Wally was asking that, Levon, you have the data. They don't only have a longer bad run of form than Lampard. It might be so. However, the thing is that Manchester United are looking at stability. While with Chelsea owner, they look at chop and change quick success. So they have 2 different mind frame.
People have to understand that with Man U is a club that is on the stock exchange. So for a club like that, you don't want the stock to be up and down, right? So yes, even listen, the Man U board might have considered sacking Ole. No, I still think to this day that Ole should get the sacking, because Man U don't have a team identity, right? Which is why I don't really consider him to be no great coach. Yeah, I believe Man U will win the league this year, but guess what? I'm not going to give Ole no ratings, right? Because at the end of the day, I still don't know what my starting 11 is at the club, and I don't know my team identity. I don't know what the Man U philosophy is right now.
Listen, coming back to the Brendan Rodgers thing, it is only Liverpool supporters me hear a bash the man, say man choke the league title. Only them alone. And the time for them stop. The man never swing one rope for the half line and swing it on Gerard foot and pull him down
Exactly.
when in the game. That was totally
All right, all right,
an accident at the time, and it was just an unfortunate incident at the time. So then if you come off a Brendan Rodgers case.
all
I
right.
agree.
Let's move on now. So we saw some FA Cup action over the weekend, and Bones they came here talking up a storm, but this is Arsenal Cup. Don't think they forget that. Have it
That's fine.
recorded. This
That's
is
fine.
Arsenal Cup, and we'll beat Southampton, and
I
That's
never
fine.
oh
forgot.
Liverpool will beat Manchester United, and oh Wimbledon will beat
Yeah.
Tottenham by a goal to nil. How you feel
Yeah,
getting
yeah.
a hot 1-0 Saturday morning, brother?
How me feel getting? I never know. So you could have score goal in a. Me never hear of a football game where you score goal, where you score a goal and then you end up drop out. Right, Jason?
It's
Right,
on the
right,
Arsenal.
Jason? On the Arsenal. It was a learning experience, of course. It was a learning experience. When I woke up 5:30, because it was 5:15 my time, right? When I woke up and saw the lineup, I went straight back to my bed because I know we were going to lose. But it is a wake up experience for Arteta and the Arsenal and the Arsenal hierarchy in terms of those players that started were the exact players who were giving us problems in the EPL when we were winning. Those are the players. So no, there is no doubt in our mind that these players are just not good enough to be a part of our club. It is as simple as that. They are not good enough. So if we don't take that as a learning experience, then we will continue to struggle. Yeah, and I don't feel any way about the defeat, right? Because they win the FA Cup last year. It changed from
Hold on,
year to
hold on,
year,
hold on,
right?
hold on. Stick up in.
Mm.
You don't feel away.
No,
You let me
don't
call
feel
it by
that
your
way.
let me call it by a government name. You Sherwin.
You
Don't
know,
feel
you
away
know.
when you came on this level and said that Arsenal will not lose another match in 2021. Don't think I
That
forget that in a
I
boss.
believe he was talking the EPL.
That's fine. I was talking the EPL. Thank you very much.
Shapes. Don't pick up fee, man. Man just
Thank
came out
you
to make a
very much.
broad statement.
Thank you very much, James. Me never say no. All right. Anyway, it's a learning experience, and we just have to pick up ourselves. No, the last team to win the FA Cup back to back was Arsenal, right? And it changed from year to year. So we just take it and we just move on. That's just
Alright, Bones, Mikhail said you should have stopped talking. He said what pros kill with, that's it.
who.
Ward
Mikhail in the
Prowse.
comment section said what pros ball with Bones.
Oh, yeah, whatever. Whatever.
Alright, so we move on to another match where we saw Premier League interest. Shakes, Brighton beat Blackpool by 2 goals to 1, but I'm sure everybody's talking about that goal from Yves Bissouma.
Yeah, man, it
It
was a
was a rocket.
brilliant goal, brilliant goal. Um, I remember when you were talking about Blackpool, you were talking up Blackpool,
No man,
like it.
makes the brand for it, man. I do that.
I thought you were carrying Blackpool to
No
stun
man.
Brighton, but guess
No
what?
man.
Brighton, um, they haven't really gotten the results in the EPL, playing some good
Good
football.
football.
Yes. So I didn't expect them to lose to Blackpool. So that 2-1 victory, yes. A lower, if you want to call them, relegation threatened Brighton versus a championship team. So that 2-1 scoreline is quote unquote what you would expect of a team close in terms of league positions.
Alright, so we move on to our next match, and Jason, we saw the Said Benrahma show. West Ham 4, Doncaster nil. Benrahma was absolutely class in that match. What's your take on it, boss?
Well, yeah, it was an expected performance for West Ham, an expected result. Maybe the scoreline surprised some, but you would expect them to have too much talent for Doncaster on the day. West Ham, compared to previous years, they're starting to have some real depth and talent about them. My only hiccup about this potential thing is that all of this happened under David Moyes. So um, they'll try to see how best they can. They'd want a good run in the FA Cup, but it doesn't get any easier for them with the next round pitting them to visit Old Trafford. So All in all, it was an excellent clinic by Ben Rama. As Demo said, it was typical Brentford Ben Rama. That it was a clinic. Man on a match perform.
All right, so another match that had Premier League interest that took place on Saturday. I'm sure Man City fans are still thinking back on those long throws by Cheltenham because they gave a lot of problem with those long throws. But they went behind and eventually came back to win 3-1 when Foden and company came on. So it was a easy run out in the end for Man City. But I'm sure that a lot of fans were on the edge when they saw they were trailing 1-0 at around in the 78th minute thereabouts. So eventually they turn around and Phil Foden again on the score sheet, 9 goals that for the season, Manchester leading goal scorer. So all in all, good game for me, man. Next up, we saw yesterday Chelsea beating Luton Town in what was Frank Lampard's last match for the club, where Mason Mount, Frank Lampard's favorite son, actually captained Chelsea in that game, and
Bombard.
they ran out 3-1 victors with a Tammy Abraham hat-trick. Bones, that one is for you.
um, I think him giving Mason Mount the captain. Probably he knew that he was going to get sacked, so he had to promote his son. Um, yeah, it was unexpected, unexpected win for Chelsea. It was Frank Lampard's last game in charge, and it's always good to go out on a winning note as a manager, right? So it was a good performance. It was expected, as I said. Um, um, they gave up a goal. Tammy Abraham's hat trick. You can't ask anything more than that, right? What your young boy
What
stepping
you
up
saying,
and
Bones?
scoring a
Nothing to shout about?
no, we're not shout. The only thing in hit to shout, the only thing in hit to shout about is that Mount get the captain to the team that game. They still
All right,
can't do that.
let's also quickly point out that under Frank Lampard, Mason Mount scored his first goal in the Premier League under Lampard, and Mason Mount was the one who also scored the last goal under Frank Lampard in the Premier League.
That's fine.
So he scored the first goal for him, he scored the last goal, and he kept in the last game for him.
Another fact, Levon. He got the most appearances at Chelsea under Frank.
That's another. That's
80.
another thing. That's
80
another thing.
appearances.
That's another thing, Shakes. When you were saying you can't define the Chelsea team week in, week out and know who is going to start. One guy you can always tell is going to be on that team.
Yeah, man, just like how at Manchester United, Harry Maguire starts every single game, although he's not good.
Yeah, one player. Yeah.
We are talking about a consistent 11, man. A consistent 11.
All right, so next we move on to a fixture that somewhat might be surprising to us, but then again, they're probably on a high after beating Liverpool the other day. We saw Burnley running out 3-0 victors over Fulham. Kind of surprising in that sense, but then again, as I said, they are kind of in a good form. Didn't expect it to be a 3-0 match. Probably expected a 1-0 or 2.
1-0. Yeah,
it ended up being
actually thought that Fulham would have scored in that game, especially because they were playing at home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it wasn't. It was basically a mixture of their first 11 with some subs or bench players. So I guess that's why the cohesion and the chemistry wasn't really there against that Burnley team. Most of that Burnley team, majority of the players were their regular personnel. Yeah, so the result is the only thing that is surprising, but not the win for Burnley.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so in our next fixture that had Premier League interest, once again we saw Leicester running out 3-1 victors over Brentford, and it was a show by Cengiz Under. He was absolutely brilliant throughout. That also we should mention James Maddison. He seems to be on a purple patch where he's keep on going in from strength to strength. So again, big up the man himself, Brendan Rodgers, for keeping that team together, and also point out that they are without Jamie Vardy. So they're looking for someone to play as striker. Jose Perez garbage, so not the man to lead the line. So I guess he'll try to use Under or one of those guys as false nine. So hopefully they'll get through it all. So move on and to the big fixture. One that Bones came on and said that Liverpool would have won. One that Deem also came on and said that Liverpool would have won.
So you do want if you say them all
But
do?
no, with Demon knowing factually that Jurgen Klopp has never beaten Manchester United at Old Trafford, never ever. And on this occasion, the man expected this to happen with their farm support. Oh boy! But it was a good performance overall for the neutral. I'm sure they would have enjoyed that match thoroughly because it was end-to-end action. And nice feedback from one of you guys' background.
So another fact for the Liverpool Man U game, and Jason can probably confirm this. Liverpool under Jurgen Klopp, they've never passed the 5th round of the FA Cup.
Correct.
So the FA Cup is not a cup that Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool plays for. So nobody should have been surprised of the result, right? When you couple it with the form that Liverpool were in.
But Shakes, a few things to point out. What a ball that was from Rashford to Greenwood.
I agree. It was. If only he would do that more often when he was in the final third. Right? Let me tell you something about Marcus Rashford. You see that ball over the top is a ball that he plays a lot, especially in the Champions League, because we are always playing on the counter, especially in the Champions League. So that ball never surprised me, right? You just need runners, right? So, quote unquote, once Martial not there because for some strange reason he wouldn't have made that run. Yeah. So I was very thankful that Mason Greenwood was up there making that run. If you realize Cavani might not have the type of end product as he once did when he was his younger self, but guess what? You see, if players like Rashford and Martial could learn some of those runs into the channel, learning how to pull a defender to allow your teammate to be in space. I wish they would learn that more, some more.
But I'm sure that this fellow, Reece Williams, can probably take a little solemn off Trent Alexander now because Rashford killed that man when it came to, was it Old Trafford when we beat them by 2-1 when Rashford killed Trent over on that side. So I'm not really going to kill Reece on this occasion because Trent was used to the beating, so it was
Listen,
not his
let me
day
tell you
yesterday.
something. I'm not even going to blame the Liverpool centre back, right? You know why? Because Trent Alexander was high up the field, right? He was high up the field for the entire match. So, as I said, if Man U played smarter football, we could have ended up in better positions and had more opportunities to score.
All right. So Jason, I'm sure you are thanking Thiago for that. What a lot of people are saying that is a pre-assist to that very good free kick from Bruno, because you actually notice that Thiago ducked instead of jumping for that free kick, and I'm sure that a lot of haters out there are probably still sobbing because they said Bruno don't perform in big games and he doesn't score against top 6
That's
opposition.
not a
And
big game, though. Sorry. I judge hard. But hold on. Let me cut you there, Levon. This is why I said it's not a big game. One, Liverpool not in good form. Two, Liverpool have not passed the 5th round of the FA Cup under Klopp. Number three, is Liverpool really still a big side right now?
okay, number 4. Shake's trying to find every excuse to discredit Bruno.
I'm
Me
not.
know you're by
I'm
now.
not.
Don't try that with me right here. Don't try that. Jason, how did you see that game?
Um, well, as Sheiks pointed out to the stat that I wanted to include, that Liverpool don't really view, especially under Jurgen Klopp, an FA Cup as priority. I think the last victory in it was 2006. I'm trying to remember if they've been in the finals since then. I'm not sure. I don't think so. I'd have to double check that. But
Yeah,
in
2006.
terms yeah, in terms of the match itself, I think it was a game littered with defensive errors. Um, but I don't get the justification from Liverpool fans that Liverpool were the better side. I don't see it because that game should have ended from the first half. It could have ended from the first half, and it should have ended from the first half. I have to big up, as I said, Thiago's pre-assist for Bruno because everybody seemed the duck. Saw that he ducked and everything. I guess it was a pre-match discussion between Bruno, Thiago, and Solskjaer as to how he would have wanted. But minutes before that, even before it was confirmed by Bruno, you could see Cavani talking to him and actually telling him what to actually do. So that's why I singled out Cavani for his performance because I felt that he led the line brilliantly, almost scored himself. He should have scored with that late header that hit the post. But it was his smart play that led to the foul. And to be honest, it could have been 2 red cards for Liverpool in that game as well, because I'm not sure if anybody remembers Mane's tackle. And was it Fred? With the studs showing and studs up, and Fabinho was already on a yellow when he made that tackle on Cavani. But of course, I guess it was the goal, not the goalkeeper, the referee exercising some leniency there. But overall, it was a very good result for United. And of course, if anybody who predicted a Liverpool win actually followed tradition and actually followed the history, they would have known that Liverpool could not have won that match. Jurgen Klopp just don't have the keys for Old Trafford.
All right, so the Liverpool man has joined the chat just about the right time with us discussing that match. Demo, your take on the match itself? Hold on,
Yes.
before you start though, me just beat you a while because me say you came on here and said that Liverpool would have won, and had you followed the stat as Jason just pointed out, Jurgen Klopp has never beaten Man United at Old Trafford, and Jurgen Klopp has never passed this round of the FA Cup. So
So
go
so
ahead.
what? So what?
You expected that to change this time around?
No,
No.
no,
No, Levant,
first of all, good night,
ex-
everybody. I don't understand why you tell me them nonsense stats. It no matter. Burnley never beat Liverpool at Old Trafford at Anfield in how long, but it
See Old
happened.
Trafford sticking in your
Yeah,
brain that you
thank you.
actually have
I
mentioned.
mean, things happen. Me not understand why you tell me that.
But
Anyway,
you guys are also out of form, brother. Come on, man.
yeah, and I told you that farm goes out the window when it comes to a derby. So them stats don't really
Hold
matter
on,
to
what you
me.
said a while ago?
I said we were on the stream a couple days, and you say farm goes out the window.
Oh, I say it or you say it. Which one?
You
You alone
alone
said
know.
that, man. No, man,
Oh,
you
because
alone
me
said that.
just want to try hear if you did say I said that, because me see as like a beating and say you see when I argued me say not go so, but continue.
Yeah, but no, yeah, come flip flop now and say about farm and whatever. But anyway, so I'm not sure what Jason meant by the game should have ended by the first half. It was a very even game. I don't know what game
You agree?
we were watching. In terms of chances created, chances taken, I thought it was very even. Salah, boy, I don't know. Salah needs a right foot. He should have ended with a hat trick, and it's just a part of football. Teams get chances, team miss, keeper make saves, and stuff like that. I honestly think that just the goal scoring, just because we scored those goals, I thought that we were going to win the game because we haven't scored for however long. And when we got that first goal, I say, yes, man, this is it. We're going to win this game. And when I think it was Jason mentioned the 100 years in the last stream that we haven't won in the competition, I was like, yeah, records are there to be broken, and here it comes. But Liverpool, we have just developed a habit of not winning games, and it's just stuck with us now for a while. It's a bad habit that we have, that we cannot finish games. I thought Reece Williams was the wrong decision to start in this game. I've been pleading for Nat Phillips. Everybody knows that I've been pleading for Nat Phillips in this game, and I'm not going to come here and rant and scream and cuss and do all of this thing, because for me, I'm just kind of immune to this right now.
Oh, you got a vaccine.
Yo,
I'm I'm
Demon, I can help you with that here. You know
I'm
that.
I'm
Yeah, man, just
listen,
consult with Bones.
No,
Bones know how it
no,
feels to
no,
drop
no,
down
no,
the
no, no,
table.
no, no fret yourself, Dima. Soon Bones turn. No worry. Soon Bones
Oh,
turn.
yeah,
monster.
man. I'm over it, man. Like I'm just watching Liverpool
But
to
Levan,
see what happens.
you realize how high Liverpool fans were earlier in the season, right? All of a sudden the mood has changed in the camp, right?
So wait, so we're supposed to still be
Where
happy?
now they basically in the middle, don't know what to expect. They don't know if they're going to fall out of the top four. They
No, no,
don't
no,
know,
no, 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 no. Stop putting words in people's mouths. You already predicted Liverpool not to finish in the top four,
of course.
and that's why you're saying that.
I quickly
I
finish
What
up
are
still
you
on this. Quickly
watching?
finish up.
I still think Liverpool have a chance to win the league. Man, I say that. I'm saying no in this form that we're in. I'm
Okay, well,
immune to not
you
winning
don't
games
sound so in
anymore.
your voice, man.
All right, we're going to round up on the FA Cup fixtures. So we saw Everton beating Sheffield Wednesday by 3 goals to nil. Expected. Bones with his nonsense expected we come to beat Tottenham, but Tottenham ran out 4 victors. And Ndombele came on and changed the match totally. And now we move on quickly, and we saw one match taking place in the EPL on Saturday where Aston Villa ran out 20 victors over Newcastle, which was expected somewhat
Yeah,
because Newcastle is on a poor run as well.
very poor.
Now we move on to the EPL fixtures that will take place tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday. So first up, tomorrow we'll see Newcastle against Leeds United, two teams that are totally out of form, two teams that are desperately in need of a win. Shakes quickly on that.
Boy, Leeds, yeah, desperate for a win. Steve Bruce, I do understand. It's like an English thing and old player. Steve Bruce did well at Manchester United and teams keep on hiring him to be a coach for what? What honestly, like I don't get it with these English clubs, right? It's not like in Germany where they actually promote youth and young
Mm.
managers, right? But anyway, Newcastle horrendous against Aston Villa. Boy, if Leeds can't score multiple goals against Newcastle, I suggest that the owners of Leeds consider sacking Bielsa
Frank Lampard
because
want a job.
thank you.
All right, so we'll just move on to that from that quickly, and then we'll see Crystal Palace taking on West Ham tomorrow. Quickly, Demo.
Crystal Palace versus West Ham. Like I said, I told you guys West Ham they're just flying at the moment. I can't see anything but a West Ham win. I think that they're going to win that game comfortably. I mean, it might be tricky, but I think West Ham will just come out victors just because of how they're performing this season. I see them winning.
Demo, you know, say if West Ham win a fifth, you know,
Listen, we're talking about West Ham versus Crystal Palace.
no,
And
me just ask you, brother. Just yes
listen,
or no.
so Levan and I would have. I don't know if he saw the game and stuff, but we saw Ben Rama coming out in the FA
Yeah,
Cup
man,
and
watch it,
he
man.
ran the show, man. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
expecting that he did enough to make a start for this game, and so
yeah.
I think that they're going to win
We'll
the game.
start, man.
Right. So you
Mm.
know,
Next up,
Sorry, a little bit
quickly.
about Ben Rama and versus Doncaster, quote unquote. That's his level championship.
What?
hey,
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. Let's move on. We'll save this for another live. So we'll see a rematch of the FA Cup tomorrow at 3:15 p.m. where Southampton take on Arsenal again. Bones, quickly.
listen to me, man. Listen to me. No want nobody coming here can tell me about all them beat your Saturday and all them do this and all the different team are come out tomorrow. When it comes from. Oh, my boy Saka will be back. He'll be back again. Things will be happier tomorrow. Honestly, the EPL, the Premier League farm that Arsenal is in right now, I don't see us losing tomorrow. Um, it's going to be it's going to be very tight, and I must publicly say that on a serious note that I hope that everything is on a personal level. And as an on a family level, I hope that everything is okay with Aubameyang. And we heard that some things going on with him behind the scenes that's affecting him really bad. He's going through some divorce and shit. So that's really not good for him. But tomorrow, I'm expecting Arsenal, the original Arsenal, to come out tomorrow, put in a good performance, put on a good show. We really need 3 points. Getting 3 points tomorrow will put us in a good position to finish in the top four. So I'm especially going into especially going into the especially going into the Man U game on the weekend. Um, we need that farm, you know. Man, you come into our home and think long
Don't touch
time.
on that. We'll save that.
Okay,
Save that
Friday
for.
night. All
Save
right,
that for the
Friday
live
night.
Friday.
Friday night. So
All right.
Southampton, I'm expecting us to be very revengeful tomorrow, and I'm expecting Arsenal to actually win the game 4-0 tomorrow.
Wishful
My boy,
thinking.
my boy
Pinch
Staka.
of,
So, a matter of
pinch
fact,
of, pinch of
party,
salt. Pinch of
party,
salt.
the party will start tomorrow with Party scoring his first Premier League goal.
Okay.
That's my
So
prediction.
we see West Brom taking on Man City at 3:15 p.m. and not much to talk about. Jason. City against West Bram. Quick and fast.
I do not see a repeat of Slaven Bilic's last game here. Man City are going to roll over West Brom. It's as simple as that.
Okay. Next up, we see Chelsea taking on Wolves. Two teams that are playing pretty awful. Two
What
teams
about
that
Chelsea team?
desperately need 3 points. Demo.
Yeah, remember the last time out, Wolves beat Chelsea. I remember that Neto goal. It was a stunner. Will Chelsea be buoyed by? And I don't know if they'll have a new manager by that time, but I think that the players should get a lift because you know when new managers or interim managers come in, teams normally get that new manager buzz. And so all the excuses that Timo Werner I mean, the German Shane Long has been getting and
Yeah,
Havertz has
careful.
been
Have
getting,
some manners
I
here.
think that now, once you see these guys come back into form, everybody's going to be hippie puri again for a little while. So I'm thinking Chelsea might win this game, just barely scrape this game. I'm going to give them the win. I'm going to say Chelsea 2-1.
Next up, we see Burnley taking on Aston Villa at 1 p.m. on Wednesday. Quickly shakes.
Aston Villa, flying form. Burnley at home though. So
Cheeky.
attack versus a stonewall
Right.
defense. But I still see Jack Grealish finding a way to set up
And
his
also
team.
point out that Ross Barkley is back as well, so
Yeah,
more
man.
attacking impetus.
Yeah. So I know that Burnley will put up a rear guard defensive performance, but I still see Aston Villa getting the win. Burnley might score a goal, but Aston Villa 2-1.
And Aston Villa are also on the cusp of signing Morgan Sanson from Marseille. Don't know if that will go through in time for that match, but they're on the cusp, and that kind of signals some intent that Douglas Luiz might be on his way back to Man City. Next up, we'll see Brighton taking on Fulham Wednesday at 2:30 p.m. Bones, quick and fast. Mike, we're not hearing you. Still not hearing you.
Yeah, sorry. But both teams have to win. Sorry, we did not look at it. Both teams have to win. When you're in these positions and you're playing a fellow drop mate. If you put it like that, you just have to try and win the game, right? But honestly, right now, I'm kind of going with a Fulham 1-0 win over Brighton. Um, just that they need it more at this current stage. They really need it more. So and they have been playing okay football. They have been. It's not something to write home about, but they are giving teams trouble. You really have to come and beat them over the last couple of games, right? So I'm going to go with a Fulham 1-0.
All right, next up, we'll see Man United taking on Sheffield United. Jason.
The ones at the top versus the ones at the bottom.
Yo,
Sheffield are atrocious away from home. They've only
Yeah,
scored 4 goals all season. I just think this is not going to be a mauling, but this United are going to want to provide some sort of a statement because that win on the weekend in the FA Cup will mean nothing if we do not get a result in this game.
I
So
know.
I suspect that it will be all out attack. Sheffield will try to be organized, but eventually they will get broken down. And I just feel sorry for Sheffield at the moment because for a lot of people who might know her or who might not know, in a season when Derby finished with the lowest record of 11, their only victory in that season came against Newcastle, and Sheffield's only victory so far this season was also against Newcastle. So the
Let's
omens are not looking good for
but
them.
trust me though, Jason. I think there's one analyst on this show that actually believe that Sheffield United will get their second victory of the season tomorrow.
Of
The
course.
man the man that makes absolutely no sense because he failed over and over to be
No,
objective.
no, no,
Listen,
He's led
listen,
by emotions that he don't think that Man
no.
United will ever beat
listen,
any team in the
listen,
EPL. You
listen,
can have you
listen.
can have wishful thinking, and you might say you
Li-
hope that the team don't win.
Ball,
However, when they
bo,
get to
Yo,
come
bo,
point blank and say the
Le-
team will not beat this
Levan,
team.
yo,
Bones is a human Valentine. A bare
yo,
emotions him run
yo,
off.
you call me out, let me give me prediction for the game. I
Quick.
am I am actually predicting this game to finish 1-1.
Oh, okay.
do
All
something
right.
for it, Brewster. Do something for it.
Exactly.
Okay. Next up, we'll see a match that has a lot of interest. We'll see Everton taking on Leicester, a match that will
Oh my
certainly
God.
provide some entertainment. Leicester, who have been very good on the road, come up against an Everton team that hasn't played in a while. So tricky match.
And they,
Team
Wow.
they've not
um
been very good at home either.
Shakes.
Boy, you couldn't save me for the Liverpool Tottenham game, man. But anyway, Everton,
You'll get an input. You'll get an input, man. Go on.
Everton, Leicester. Boy, that one is a tricky one to predict. Why I say tricky? Because Everton, they have had multiple days off, right, in terms of a training. So the quote unquote have had some time to rest. They had a good performance. I don't
Sheffield
remember the
Wednesday.
team they beat. Yeah, Sheffield Wednesday. I watched that game. They were pretty good. They killed Sheffield at every corner, at every set play. But they played good football. Coming up against Leicester, though, Leicester have been in fine form. So it's hard to go with either team. If I honestly have to go with a draw for
Says a
that
draw written
game.
all over this
But,
one.
Yeah,
but,
man.
but
I
listen,
honestly have to go for a score
but,
draw. I wouldn't be surprised if it's even like a 2-2 draw in
but,
that
but,
All right,
but,
quick
game.
and fast, Bones. Your input,
but
because it
no,
seems like you want to say
no,
something.
yeah, because Everton are my team and you should have given me this. But anyways, note that if while me agree with Sheikh that me agree say it look like a draw, whether 1-0 or 6-0, it just a look like a draw. If Everton actually win this game, they will have 2 games in hand after this, and you really can't write up Carlos Ancelotti pulling off a Leicester 2016 if they actually win this game. Honestly, you cannot write him up. So
Okay,
yeah,
let's move on. So in the final match of midweek, we'll see Tottenham taking on Liverpool. Demo, quick and fast.
I don't know how quick this is going to be, but Liverpool have no choice but to win this game. Um, the it's not looking too good in terms of form. It's not looking too good in terms of injuries. It's not looking too good on any form right now for Liverpool. And Tottenham just won the game in the FA Cup. I mean, they came back and won quite comfortably. And they tried to rest Son and stuff, but they ended up have to come on and play and win the game. But after Mourinho came and he said that the better team lost the game after we flogged them at home. I think that the guys should be up for this one, especially after how it ended and Firmino winning it. I think that Jurgen Klopp will come with a different type of lineup and a different type of maybe formation as well. And I just think that for the big games this season, while we have not been beating the smaller teams, we have not been dropping a lot of points against the bigger teams. And so we drew with Man City, we drew with you guys and beat Arsenal, beat Chelsea, all of the big teams. We beat Spurs already one time. We seem to have been up for those games. And I'm just saying, if Jurgen Klopp does not play Nat Phillips, Matip might be fit. So I'm hoping he is, but I'm expecting something different, like taking Fabinho from defense and playing Matip and Nat Phillips, so that we can have Fabinho there, the destroyer in the midfield, so Thiago can free up himself with Henderson coming back as well, and then we can have more fluidity, just getting back the team playing normal again. I think Spurs' only threat is Harry Kane and Son, and I say only, but it's the two most dangerous men that's going to be on the team. And Ndombele finding some form as well, and he's been decent. So it's going to be a tough game, and I'm honestly not going to call Liverpool to win. I'm going to say
Please
that this
don't.
game will end in a draw. I'm going to go for a scoring draw. I'm going to say 2-2.
All right, Shakes, quickly.
Yeah, simply put, you remember the first Tottenham game versus Liverpool? It was a statement game because they two were up at the top of the league, right? So that was a statement game. Guess what? You see, the game this time around is actually a statement game for two reasons. One, it will determine whether or not Liverpool cannot win the league. That's one. Number two, it's also a statement game because this is actually teams fighting for a fourth place finish to secure a Champions League spot, right? People might not agree, but later on, they're going to realize, right? If Liverpool loses, I'm surprised with all of what Dimo just said, that he actually picked a draw. Because he actually said that is a must-win game for Liverpool. So I don't understand how a must-win game for Liverpool is equivalent to a draw.
Me
So
saying it's a must-win game for Liverpool
he's not
don't mean
even
All
to
right,
not be rational.
Shakes, we're gonna have to leave it there. So,
you're
guys,
not even confident in your own team.
What?
we're going to have to leave it. But guess we're going to have to leave it there. We have come to the end of the show, and it was once again a successful live. Dima joined late, but he was here. Shakes was here from the beginning. Also, Bones, Jason joined in after a while. At some point tonight, I saw us getting around 40 views. So I appreciate everyone that was on here. Everybody that tuned in. For the first timers, thanks so much for tuning in. For the regular viewers, thanks so much to you all for making this possible. But big shout out again to our producer, Josh Carl.
Yeah.
He's the one that makes this possible every single night.
Big up,
Without
big up.
him, there's no show. So you have to give Josh Carl a huge shout out. And Anthony Butler, see you in the comment section tonight. I'm a non-stop call you out. Josh Carl need to get paid. So make sure you link you up and pay the man. But
Tell the fans to look out a big giveaway for the next show.
hold on, the boss man. Hold on, man. Hold on. Let's give a big shout out to our sponsors once again. Let's Care Medical. And the Let's Care is spelled Letts. Care Medical. Visit them at shop number 5 Juicy Plaza, Mandeville. And their contact numbers are 532-6095 and also 494-8884. And one thing that I didn't realize, for those who are not able to actually visit Let's Care Medical, the people that actually do home visit to, so
Oh yeah?
don't have no reason at all to support the man. So ensure that support Shakes, the CEO of Let's Care Medical, our first sponsor on board and our sole sponsor thus far. So once again, thanks to everybody that has tuned in. Look forward to having a show very soon again. I won't say when it will be, just stay tuned to the thing. And ensure that keep on tell people to follow the page, like the page, and go over to the YouTube channel Sports Frenzzyy and subscribe to the channel as well and watch videos from over there too. Wherever we can get support, it's needed. So guys, just continue to support us while we keep on growing. We are growing with you guys. So until then, peace out. Stay safe.
Big up.